What is going on, Bulls Nation? So we all know that reports are there's no team that's gonna take Zach. So the question is, would Kobe and Zach works if DeMar is out of the picture? We'll talk about it right after this.
This is your home for all things Chicago Bulls. Join the conversation. You're listening to Chicago Bulls Nation.
All right, Bulls Nation. So I've been following this Zach LaVine saga closely, and all the reports, although I don't necessarily believe all of this, is the fact that they're saying that Zach LaVine's value is so low that the Bulls need to attach something of worth just to get rid of his contract. I don't know. I find it hard to believe that the Bulls necessarily need to attach an asset. By that we mean like a draft pick or Caruso or something of value just to get rid of Zach's contract. Make no mistake about it. I do want Zach to be traded. However, what I'm not fine with is the Bulls attaching assets to get rid of Zach. I don't think he's that bad. I don't think we come to the like James Harden publicly wanted to get out. And the 76ers still got 2 first rounders for him. No one's really lining up to get him. He's an older player, also, coming off injury, and has a history of not being happy, and one of the max for that matter. Albeit he's a better player than Zach, but at the same time, 2 first rounders. So I find it hard to believe that no one would take Zach as he is, as a face value, right? Like, I'm okay doing a straight up salary dump. So those who doesn't know, salary dump is basically you get expiring for Zach. And by that, you get out of Zach's contract, you kind of restart the clock if you're the Bulls. Now you get his salary off the books. You can sign other players, depending on, I haven't seen their cap space situation for next year, but I can imagine if him and DeMar is going to get out, then I can imagine at least a minimum of $20 to $30 million of cap space being available. I'm guessing that is before we sign Patrick Williams, if we are really sold on Patrick Williams. So with that being said, I don't see why the Bulls can't just do, let's say, by salary dump, we're talking about Zach LaVine for Gordon Hayward and fillers without any picks. So that meaning the Bulls wouldn't get compensated. There's no picks attached. You're going to get Gordon Hayward, which is not a plan of the Bulls moving forward. I'm okay with that. Honestly, I've come to terms that Zach isn't going to raise his value. So holding off to him doesn't do the Bulls any favors. But if we have to attach Alex Caruso, who we all value as 2 first rounders anyway, no. So I guess the question is, if that is the case, and if DeMar doesn't agree to an extension, because I'd rather get rid of Zach than DeMar, but if DeMar doesn't agree to an extension, or the Bulls can't come to terms, and we trade DeMar, I'm all for re-signing DeMar, but at the right price and at the right contract. Let's say 2 years. At a max, hopefully. But if they don't come to terms, I think the best place to trade DeMar, even if we suffer this year, with the play-in tournament, we're going nowhere anyway. Get a pick for DeMar, recoup that pick that you're about to give to San Antonio, and then start over, right? If you do that, then you get one ball dominant out. The question begs, would the Zach and Coby, the emergence of Coby, work without DeMar? Are we going to play faster? So what the lineup is going to be, let's say the Bulls don't do any drastic moves. So coming off next year, maybe sign a few, free agents here or there. Nothing impactful. So the lineup is going to be mostly unchanged. Kobe, Zach, Alex Caruso at 3, Patrick Williams at 4, and Vooch at 5. Would that be a better lineup than what we have now? And would that lineup showcase Zach enough that we can trade him maybe midway to the season next year or through the deadline? Would he recoup his value that we can trade him? At least we don't have to attach assets, right? If that all comes down to that, would that lineup be good enough that Zach would be viewed as somebody that, hey, I'm willing to maybe get rid of a young talent for him, or maybe a first rounder, a late first, that at least the Bulls doesn't have to give a first rounder? Or would that be a winning combination? Because Zach has talent, and we all saw how they played with Lonzo. Or would, let's say, Lonzo comes back, and the Bulls decided to just play him out. Lonzo Ball, he's on the last year of his deal, so he'll be the point guard. Coby would be the 2, Zach would be 3, Patrick Williams the 4. It'll be, I wouldn't say, depending on how Lonzo comes back, because Lonzo is like Caruso on defense anyway. So is this the play that the Bulls are looking at here? That could this work without DeMar? And by that I mean they're just gonna throw away this year if they trade DeMar, maybe throw away half of next year, if not all of next year. Because if they could, because I think the long play is still to trade Zach. The Zach is not happy here. He expressed his desire, not publicly, but we all know what's happening here, to be traded. But if we started winning, let's say we put Lonzo there, and maybe just the same as what we are now, but Zach's production increases because of having no DeMar, and let's say the win stays the same, maybe that would be the play, is to reset it next year. You trade Zach for expiring, you let Lonzo expire, and now you have a ton of cap space moving on to the following year. And not now, compared now to if we do trade Zach, according to the reports, which again I still don't believe. This is my position on this. If we can trade Zach today for forget Ivy. If we can trade Zach today for Boyan and Stewart, I'll be fine with it. Really, I'll be fine with it. Because you get Stewart, who's a power forward. You can slide down Patrick Williams to 3 if you decide not to have DeMar DeRozan back, and then you can put Coby to 3 to your point guard, or number 2 if Lonzo Ball comes back next year. So that might be a lineup that is probably lacking of scoring, but at least you have flexibility. So you got Boyan Bogdanovic, I forgot. So you can put Boyan at 4 or 3, and Patrick. There's a lot of options that you could do. But let me know in the comments, is Zach and Coby, do you think would work once we take DeMar out of the picture? And this is just outside of the box thinking here if we trade DeMar. Love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're a Bulls fan, and I'll see you guys in the next video.